Hi, I'm Davi Patterson, and welcome to my senior thesis project, PAL.IT, a tactile digital art tool for kids. Let me introduce you to the problem I worked to solve. Are we preparing our children for the future of art in the digital age? Today, the technological landscape is rapidly evolving in all facets of life. Yet, our approach to children's art education remains largely rooted in traditional mediums. This disconnect poses a critical question. Are we equipping young minds with the skills and tools they need to thrive creatively in an increasingly digital world? This project, PAL.IT, aims to bridge the gap between traditional and digital art by seamlessly integrating tactile experiences with educational features. It empowers children to explore their creativity in the digital age by merging traditional mediums with innovative features tailored to teaching art fundamentals and an introduction to digital drawing. Let me walk you through the various research I conducted. In order to fully understand my problem space, I first had to answer the importance of art for a child's development. What are the basics of art and illustration that are essential for a child to learn? I also needed to understand the differences between traditional and digital art and the impact digital art on kids, like what already exists and how is that affecting kids. I read academic papers, articles, and more to conduct the majority of my research. I then interviewed families with kids in my target age demographic and an art teacher who also writes and illustrates children's books. I then conducted market research and how current products work. From all this, I made design decisions informed from my findings. Any medium of art is a fundamental aspect of a child's development. It helps them express themselves, develop problem-solving skills, and translate abstract ideas into visual representations. Design thinking is a process that aligns well with kids' natural curiosity and creativity, and can be introduced through hands-on exploration and activities that teach empathy. These abstract ideas are exactly what young kids begin to understand and desire. Research from Maria Montessori, acclaimed for her educational methods that build on the way children learn naturally, says that kids aged 6 through 12 are in the stage of intellectual independence, which is characterized by a desire to think for themselves. During this stage, children have an insatiable thirst for knowledge and wish to understand the reasons for things. Through literature and interviews, I established the foundations of art important for kids. Line is the distance between 2 points. You can manipulate lines to show direction, communicate moods, and make shapes. Texture gives a visual impression of how a surface would feel if you could actually touch it. Value is the amount of lightness and darkness, black being the darkest and white is the lightest, and there's a gradient of gray in between. With value, you can continue to add depth and importance to the drawing. You can introduce color to better express emotion in drawings. Using both color and value can create a wide array of ways to add dimension and meaning in art. Through intentional placement and scale, you can further create the illusion of 3 dimensions with perspective. Space can also mean the area on the canvas that separates one object from another. With these basic elements of art, you can dive deeper into design elements and other artistic styles to create works of art that are complex and tell a story. Traditional and digital drawing have unique advantages. Traditional drawing offers a sensory experience that is very helpful for a child's learning and engagement. There are many advantages of digital art, however, such as the undo button, layers, portability, and access to an almost infinite amount of artistic tools. The digital space is becoming increasingly important and relevant to children. Digital media is now an integral part of children's lives, providing new avenues for them to explore, learn, and express themselves. It enhances their learning experiences by fostering creativity, broadening their knowledge, and allowing them to become not just consumers, but also creators of digital content. Furthermore, the integration of digital tools with traditional art mediums offers a complex and enriching learning experience. So, with my problem space identified, I conducted interviews with parents that have children in my target user group to see how they approach engagement with art in their child and what digital art experiences they already have. Family A has an 11-year-old daughter who loves art and technology, drawing mainly on her school Chromebook, so much so that it creates concern with time management. However, the parents still acknowledge digital art technologies as a valuable tool, seeing how much her daughter enjoys it. Family B has a 6-year-old son who is deeply immersed in a variety of activities, toys, and hobbies, but he can easily be overstimulated. The parents also see the value of digital art, but still maintained how special the physical experience of just a paper and pencil can bring. I was able to let their son use Procreate on my iPad, which he has never used before, and I was very surprised to see how intuitively he navigated the basics of the software. Lastly, my interview with Teacher C emphasized the importance of teaching foundational art skills like shape, form, and color to kids. This helps them get a better understanding of art and design concepts, and he talked about how important art is and how art can help build confidence and relationships in young kids. Art provides a creative outlet for them, and digital art is an incredibly powerful tool with nearly limitless possibilities for creativity. Current top chart drawing applications like Procreate tend to be too complex for children, and they rarely include child appropriate tools. On the other hand, applications like Chrome Canvas makes drawing too straightforward and easy. For example, the importance of embracing mistakes in art and allowing kids to learn from errors. The undo button can be overused and kids can miss this learning experience. There are also lots of apps and toys for creative learning. While being very educational for kids, it doesn't focus on drawing skills, but instead of applying creative skills to abstract concepts like STEM. They also tend to have a high price point, with the Crayola Create and Play app costing $60 nearly a year, and Osmo kits costing between $100 and $200. As I was researching my market further, I became fascinated by these electronic educational gadgets. A lot of designers have done a lot of amazing work turning abstract concepts like circuitry, coding, music, and more into tangible tools meant for kids. Granted, a lot of these projects were conceptual, however, I couldn't find any that just focused on drawing. If someone could semantically translate animation modifiers, for example, into physical tools that you could touch with your hands to manipulate the animation effects, you could do the same with art. So, from my research, I decided to investigate how to bridge this gap between the physical and digital in the context of art. How do I turn digital drawing into something tactile, educational, and meaningful for young children? How do I take the best parts of traditional mediums and digital art and combine them into a physical tool that can introduce kids to the world of digital creativity in a world that's beginning to demand it? From my findings, I began making design decisions. I knew it was important to combine the physical experience of traditional mediums and the power of digital technology. I had to provide introductory, kid-friendly art education like the basics of drawing. I wanted this to be a highly accessible experience, ideally available to schools, libraries, and any family. Lastly, I wanted it to be a fun experience, not a formal, work-oriented product. I used Pinterest as a source of inspiration on form, color, material, and interaction. I was drawn to colorful, simple design that was kid-friendly but still looked like a sleek digital gadget. I narrowed down my inspiration into a mood board that highlighted simple, playful interaction with basic geometric forms and colorful features. Now that I had a much more educated background to my problem, I began sketching out concepts and solutions. At first, I started redesigning the tablet, but I thought, why would parents want to buy another tablet when they likely already have one? Next, I explored different ways a user could interact with digital drawing tools, like a portable digital art kit similar to a Nintendo DS, or tiles that could stack or be placed along a grid to build color. I then refined my concept to a modular kit with different art stations, with each station focusing on different art concepts like color mixing or brush editing. However, each piece would have to have its own screen, internal components, and parts. This would ultimately get too expensive and unnecessary. Instead, I realized I needed a singular body that housed the hardware and was the main point of contact. The main body's form was inspired by a painter's palette. I had to keep in mind how the shape and size would pair with a tablet. I finalized on a simple, curvilinear rendition. From this finalized form, I then built a working physical prototype and an idealized CAD model. I collaborated with an IoT, Internet of Things, developer to bring my demo model to life. It was made from laser-cut acrylic and features basic hardware like ESP32s, magnetic sensors, NFC readers and tags, rotary knobs, and a small display screen. It runs on an Arduino framework, ESP now, WebSockets, and HTML5 with JavaScript. PAL.IT is made up of a palette-shaped main body where the internal components reside. Modules, shaped like long ellipses, are placed one at a time and controls what digital art function the user will be manipulating and learning about. The circular tokens are placed up to 6 at a time, and based on the type and number of tokens placed, directly edits the art tool that corresponds to the active module. Lastly, the two knobs provide further changes the user can make to the active art tool.
Hi, I'm Molly. Welcome to PAL.IT. To get started, please select a learning token and place it in the module slot to begin our adventure. We'll explore colors together. It's going to be fun. Let's play with red. Find a red token and place it on palette. Watch everything turn red. Awesome! You made everything red. Red reminds me of apples. What about you? Now for green, remove the red and add a green token. Ready, set, go. Yay! You made green appear. It's like a leafy adventure. Blue time, no red or green, just blue. Find the blue token and place it. Off we go. Brilliant! The world is blue like the ocean thanks to you. Let's mix to make yellow. Red and green tokens together. It's like magic. Wow, you mixed colors to make yellow. It's sunshine in here. Purple's next. Use 2 blues and 1 red. It's like a color recipe. Amazing, you made purple. It's like a bunch of grapes. For white, we need all colors. Red, green and blue together. Let's light it up. Incredible! All colors together make white. It's like a rainbow. You did great today with palette and colors. Remember to clean up and keep playing.
My idealized concept, made in CAD software, is very similar to my physical model with a few changes. We were limited by technological constraints for the demo, so the true concept features tokens that have hardware and software embedded in them so that you can place the tokens in any of the 6 spots. I also cleaned up the form with a thinner body and more ergonomic, kid-friendly designs for the tokens and modules. Through Bluetooth, PAL.IT would interact with the PAL.IT app on the child's tablet of choice. It still features educational modules, but expanded to texture editing, which would work like an overlay, and brush editing, like stippling, hatching, and a regular line. The color mixing is based on the RGB space because that is what the digital world uses. I made this decision over traditional primary color mixing because PAL.IT is meant to introduce children to the world of digital art. They will already be familiar with RGB mode when they go on to explore more sophisticated digital art software. Let's take time to reflect on my solution and process. Overall, PAL.IT aligns with user needs by being kid-friendly through its design, interaction, and content. I ensured to turn digital art creation into a tangible experience that focused just on the basics of illustration. The future of art is moving rapidly towards relying on digital capabilities and software, and PAL.IT attempts to introduce the power of technology to children's limitless creativity. In the future, I would like to see more modules that cover more fundamentals of drawing, and more tokens that expand the editing capabilities. It's lacking a refined application for the tablet, packaging that cleverly stores all the pieces, and physical and digital guidance for product usage and art lessons. Those will come next. Thank you so much for your time.